Hey everybody, it's Saturday afternoon, it's late Saturday evening, and I don't know if it's British summertime anymore, or is it British wintertime? I don't know. We'll ask them. Um, we'll ask them when we get over there. But anyways, we are back. We are finishing up the Halloweenish um, shot that I had planned for him, but sickness and other things that have happened, just we weren't able to get it done. So we're gonna go ahead and hopefully finish that up. I've been bribed not to TPK the party, and as I've said before, I do not TPK anybody. The dice TPK you, your decisions TPK you, how you play the game TPKs you. I am just the facilitator of the TPK. Don't kill the facilitator. And I do send the meme jokes afterwards when I did do it. Anyways, let's jump in and say hi to the players.
Hello.
A little early on that, Simon. There we go. There's everybody.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how's everybody?
Tired, how you doing?
I'm good.
Tired. I feel you there. Nat, I feel you there. I feel you there. All right, so when we last left off, you guys, you had just finished off a relatively easy battle, I think, except for Neil's first time learning that, ouch, I can get hit very badly, very hard, very quickly. But they'll learn. So we're going to go ahead and kind of, we'll get to the combat map when we're ready. Now, when we last left off, oh, thank you, what? See, we gotta change that because you're Dungeon and Dork here. We need to change that. We need to change
What
it
do you
to.
mean?
Well, no, look, Dungeon and Dork.
Oh, you've got a point, yeah.
All right, you need to
You
change
change
that.
it back to I used to change it to
Tabletop
Tabletop Gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thank you, Tabletop. I appreciate it. I loves you.
Wait,
Oh,
what I do?
oh
I accuse you
wait.
of TPKing
Hold
us.
on.
Why are you thanking me?
Hey, no, Drunken Serby's here. I haven't seen Drunk Serby in a long time. How you doing, sir? Thank you so much for dropping by and hanging out with us. So after you finished this battle, there was a loud blow of a deep voice or a horn, kind of like echoing around in this dimension that you're in, the semi-dimension that you're in. And once you've defeated these things, the field, which is just filled with these things, it kind of moves and shuffles and shimmies out of the way. It makes a path that's about 500 yards maybe to this large, old, beat down manor home. So we're going to pick up from there at that moment. What's everybody doing at this time? And we will start with out of print.
Are the pumpkin monster thingies still reconstituting?
They look like they're starting to come back together. Their plant bodies are slowly starting to knit back together. Yes.
Right. I'll take one of the fire sticks off my belt and roots. Does that stop it reconstituting?
You can set it on
I
fire.
think it was. Pretty much, yes.
Well, it does stop it from reconstituting, but it takes a little bit longer because these things are still kind of like greenish in the sense. They're not like a dead product, nor are they undead, so they don't instantly explode. It takes you a good few minutes to get a fire started on one of them because you're burning against living material of some sort. So we are experiencing Simon coming from the fact that he doesn't have any internet. And so there's going to be a slight delay. He's on his phone, so just we'll be patient with him on that.
So I'm going to use my survival skill to make a torch. If I have 55 in survival, do I need to make a roll? It just assumed I can do that.
Yeah, it's just assumed you can make a torch.
Right, I'll just make a torch, set the torch on fire, and then use that to burn the other ones before we move on. Otherwise, we might find the things coming after us. And I don't.
As you begin to set these things on fire, you begin to hear these childlike screams echoing from them as they start to fire. They start to like pop And you can hear these childlike screams and these screams echoing, starting to echo from these things as they do it.
Delightful. Brutak will just look at them going, strange noise. Not normal. Don't like. But the burn anyway.
Make a wits power check, please. Wits check for me, please.
1 minute. My dice are in their suspicious looking baggie. Oh, that's an ought too.
You're getting you aren't not getting, it's not like you're getting assailed by this, but you're getting empathic, telepathic cries for help as this occurs.
I think if Revenge will kind of like run in front of the attack and be like, no, wait. I'm getting a lot of callings, a lot of screaming, a lot of begging for help. I feel like this isn't the best idea.
But they attack us. We need to make sure they not attack us again.
But I
Burn
thought they
the
might.
weed.
But they might also be trapped spirits, and you're burning the spirits.
But didn't we say we were going to smash somebody's spirit in another plane?
We did mention the smashing of a dad, but that's releasing spirit from the pumpkin, not burning spirit alive inside pumpkin.
But the smoke is spirit releasing, yes?
Is it?
Well, fire is releasing. I have no idea.
Okay. I don't
Brutak
know.
is not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
I think perhaps we should go to the big spooky mansion and see if we find the answers there.
It looks like obvious trap. Let's go trigger it.
A good attitude.
Nat, what are you doing? What's Gad doing?
Gad has been sort of squatted down next to another one of these reanimating piles of plant life. I'm just sort of watching it with idle curiosity.
You see it. You
been...
see it. You see the fleshy, the fleshiness of it knitting itself back together, pulling the halves back together, replacing things. It's a lot of squishing and squashing kind of sounds as it's pulling it back together. If you've ever carved the inside of a pumpkin, you know how that has those tendril-like things that hang down that keep all the seeds. That's what you're seeing, kind of like reach out to each other and start pulling each other back to each other.
Can I pull them apart again, just out of curiosity?
Sure. Give me a strength check.
Four successes.
Yeah, you reach down there. It's not a very large pumpkin kind of gourd kind of thing. You kind of like using your clawed hands, and you kind of like pull it back apart. And as you do it, you hear that fleshy ripping sound, like as you rip it back apart.
Interesting. I think maybe we should hustle.
And now, as you actually start to pull it apart, you actually see underneath it, as it pulls apart. It's not something that Brutak or even I forget your name. Riviandria, right? Riviandra. Rivandra. See, why do you want?
There's no E's in it.
Rivandra. Didn't see is the skull of a humanoid buried beneath the flesh.
Buried beneath the plant flesh, like the pumpkin skin. Can I take the skull out of it?
You want to reach in and grab the skull out of it?
I would like to, yeah.
Sure. You reach in, you start to pull out the skull out of it, and make a willpower check.
5 successes.
You are surprised, but you shake off the almost like psychic screaming in your head that you receive as you feel this pool, like like the scraping of chalkboard with nails as this penetrates your hearing and stuff, of the screaming of stop.
It's screaming a lot, Gad.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
You drop it down and you let it go.
Yeah.
And starts slowly putting itself back together. The other one that Simon has put to fire. You only put one to fire, right? Out of print. Sorry.
Well, I started with one, and then when if I'd made the torch, I'd have probably done at least a second one before Rivandra convinced me to stop.
You notice as these things are burning and stuff like that, while the path in front of you is opened up, these other plants are starting to pull these other ones into themselves and starting to extinguish the fires by literally sacrificing their own roots on top of it. M, you are getting the entire sense that this is one giant interconnected organism of some sort.
Ooh. So, therefore, by hurting one of the pumpkins, we're hurting all of the pumpkins.
That's what you surmise.
Okay. I think perhaps we should hold off on hurting any of these creatures. I fear they are connected, and therefore we are hurting all of them in one.
So they're not the trapped souls of individuals?
They are, but they are individually entrapped within one big organism. So we need to go to
Never
the
learned to
fish's
play the
head.
organ, you know.
Say again,
Let's go to
wait. Out of print. I know you're doing your accent, and I love it, but with the delay in your phone, it's actually making it harder to understand you.
Okay. Right. I'll just point towards the big house, the big ominous-looking plot device with the burning torch, and go. I guess we go that way, and point and lead.
All right. Shall we?
As you guys make your way down there, the tendrils from this field reach out, and they kind of they gently scrape against your boots and your feet as you're moving by, as though they're trying to reach out to get an understanding of what you are as you're moving through this field. Eventually, you come to this house, and as you approach the house, you can see that the front porch is completely. It's a glow with an orange yellow glow. And as you get closer and closer, you find that the light is produced is being emitted through the skull eye holes of thousands of skulls placed along the beginning of this porch. And in fact, this porch wraps all the way around, and they're just kind of piled up there, with this flickering light coming out of it.
Well, that doesn't look ominous at all, does it?
Somebody got an interior decorator. If no one stops, sorry, I was just gonna say, if no one stops her, Rivandra is just gonna go up and knock on the door.
So it's one of those older like style homes that you may have found, that you may have. It's got the front porch that's attached to it. It's got a large door. The windows are all kind of shattered and broken out, but when you kind of try to glance into it, you can't see into whatever's in there. Right? You kind of shift your head around with the windows and stuff like that, and it's darkness beyond. Rivandra is gonna go. Rivandra. There's no E's. Rivandra Is going to go up. Is going to go up and knock on the door. What do you guys want to do, Nat and Brent?
What sort of door knocker does it have?
It's a heavy bronze one, and it's actually curled up in what looks like a small gourd with vines coming up around it that attach itself to the door.
So cute.
Right. I will go behind Rivandra and basically with the pole I'm ready to hit anything that goes for her. No one's attacking my bush.
Much like Brutak, actually, Gad will just train the energy rifle at the door.
Okay.
Fully prepared to blast whatever comes through.
You go to knock on the door, and just as you start to reach for the knocker, the door opens. Inside is oblivion of darkness. You can't see anything past the door.
Jack?
No response.
We're home.
Still no response.
Put the burning torch. I'm assuming it's still burning.
Sure.
Past the entrance just to see if it goes out immediately.
You stick the torch into it, and as you do, it penetrates this darkness, and it's almost as though the door itself, the entrance, cuts it off, but you can still feel the weight of it. And there's no light emanating into the area ahead.
Brutak shakes his head and in his accent goes, I don't like that. That is bad.
Pull the torch back, please.
Pull the torch back.
You pull the torch back and the flame is still alive. It crisps a little bit as it passes through the door.
Looks like a magical boundary of some kind. We may still be able to see when we head in. I think it's just obscuring view from the outside.
With the way vibration sense works, could Rivandra reach her hand in and just place it on if there's a ground, and then see if she can sense any vibrations on the other side of the barrier?
So you go to place one of your tree limb hand through the arm through the door, and then you want to set it down on the floor that you assume is just on the other side of the threshold. Is that correct?
I mean, if she can feel the vibrations it's in the air, and then she'll just stick her hand through.
You're just going to stick your hand through, right? So you're just going to stick your hand through. You start to stick your hand through, and it becomes very, very cold. And on the other side, it feels dead, as though nothing exists.
Take the hand out.
It's a little bit frosty.
I feel there's nothing beyond that barrier.
Gad, give me a perception check. Just don't fail.
That is 7 successes. I rolled really well.
As you're kind of there watching the door, you side glance and catch that the entire path is now gone, and these much larger gourds have made their way up to the house. It looks like they're starting to slowly surround the house.
We have company.
Oh dear.
I'm not usually one for violence, but do you think perhaps we need to burn down the house?
Okay. I've got a burning torch. Do you sing the song, Burning Down the House?
I'm wearing a David Byrne jumper. I'm good to go.
Excellent.
Can I pop a warning shot in front of the gourds to see if it stops them at all?
Sorry.
So you pop a warning shot off, and just the gourds they continue. Now the gourds themselves, they're about 9 feet tall, maybe 10 feet in diameter, and they've just kind of made their way up. There's about, from what you're counting in front of you, there's about 6.
You want I should deal with them?
I think maybe we should.
I'll pick up my glaive. I'll go stand at the steps and wait for the first one or two to approach.
They're within about 5 feet of the house, but then they stop moving.
Okay, then if they're within 5 feet, they're within range. I'm going to go prune the hedges.
You're going to go prune the hedge. Just as you begin to ring back your strike, you get you hear this tingy voice coming from the darkness. Come now. You've opened the door. Step through.
Turn to the others. Did you hear that? Oh, was that just me hearing that?
It was not just you. Interesting. Well.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go first. I'm expendable.
I'm expendable.
I'll walk up and I'll step through the door. I'll step through the door.
You step through the door, and who steps through the door next?
Rivandra go next.
You go in. You go in.
Yeah.
Gad, I assume you're following.
Oh yeah, Gad's following.
As all of you begin to enter into the door, you fall into this darkness, and it makes it seem like you feel like you're tumbling and tumbling and tumbling and tumbling until you softly land in this large cavernous area. You can feel the torch is kind of fallen from your hand. It's kind of landed. You can kind of see these husks of other gourds around you, and you can feel the squishiness of the floor beneath you. Tendrils seem to be hanging from the walls and the ceilings. You're kind of like making your way through. You feel these slimy like tendrils kind of like brush against you as you begin to stand up. And in front of you, kind of hidden by the light that you have and the torchlight that's kind of fallen off in front of you, is this large throne that looks like it's made from some sort of whitish material. And sitting on this throne is a very large, gourd-headed plant folk individual.
Rivandra gives a little curtsy.
Oh, so you at least have manners.
You are royalty after all?
Out of print, Nat, what are you doing?
I'm sort of turning with my back to Vandra and keeping my polearm at guard position and just scanning around us just to see how outnumbered we are.
You're kind of looking about the room, and you notice that there doesn't seem to be anything else in here other than these tendrils that hang from the walls and what seems to appear from the ceiling that you can't quite make out in the darkness above you. Gad
has his rifle sort of slung over one shoulder and is also just sort of keeping an eye out, but there is very clear disdain on his face for the Pumpkin King's attitude.
I will lean into Rivandra. Can you negotiate one plant to another?
Got a point.
There's like a little, one of her eyes just kind of twitches slightly. And she's like, I can try. But just so you know, I do believe referring to us Kujasu as plants is rather offensive.
Alright, we'll put it this way instead. You are a public relations officer. Do a public relation,
I'm doing public relation.
Good evening.
please.
She curtsies again and she says that.
We are here to request the releasing of some souls.
You want to barter your souls for other souls?
No. Our souls, I'm afraid, are not up for trade this evening. We were hoping to find a way.
Then how do you pretend to negotiate? You have nothing to negotiate with, except your souls.
No. Did I say we had nothing to negotiate with?
Sits quietly.
What? Why do you collect these souls? May I ask?
To keep
I
myself
want to go really posh.
to keep myself fed and alive.
Surely you can survive on more than just the souls of others.
No. Souls are sweet.
You have a sweet tooth. Understandable.
Okay.
So you've
I
not
believe
come
that-
with souls to barter with and negotiate with. Why not? Why should I not keep your souls? I mean, the troll itself, his soul is very vibrant, full of energy. Yours, filled with age and knowledge. And the shelled one there. Perhaps he can add to my essence as well.
Oh no, I think his soul's a little bit too bitter for someone with a sweet tooth like yours.
All souls are sweet.
Oh my god, this is what happens when I play someone that's better at negotiating than I am. My brain goes to mush.
What if we could find something else you want? Something that you cannot collect through the taking of souls?
Like what?
Do you? s-
Does Gad actually say that?
Yes.
We could possibly retrieve you, as my partner says, the D's of the great Bofidis.
That started it. Don't look at me.
First, you're talking about our souls, or our souls, and now it's both of these.
Okay, time out. I don't even know what you're referring for. I don't even see, because I don't know if that's a British humor thing that you're throwing at me, or something I just don't understand. That's not fair.
When he asked what you could possibly want, Nat said D's under their breath, which is a D's nuts joke.
Oh,
So then I was like, we could get you the D's of the great Bofidis, as in Bofidis nuts.
oh my god.
You're a terrible influence on my sweet innocent brain, all of you.
Also, never seen that work before. This is a very rare moment for me to witness.
I don't even know what to say at this point. He just his facial brow furrows and he looks at you and goes, D's? All I want is souls. That is what makes up my entities. And that's what keeps me going. My life, my worlds are based off of the consumption of your souls. I only harvest
Well,
once a year. Why have you come to disturb me?
you have taken some very special souls, souls that were not ready
All
to.
souls are special.
I
They're
completely agree,
all
but
sweet. Have you not met my thousands that make up my fields?
it was an honor to meet them. I mean, you've taken souls that are connected to us, and we were not ready to let these souls go.
Well, then I see only way to handle this is for you to join my collection.
I'm afraid my soul is still soaring in the wind. It is not quite ready to land.
That's for me to decide.
Who elected you to make that decision for us?
You've entered my realm. I collect souls once a year. I take
Well,
those that come across and those that seem the sweetest. And now that you're
think
here, your souls are very sweet indeed.
You don't collect, you steal.
From
Yeah, I would
your
also argue you're
perspective,
more of a thief than we are.
well then, shall we put that theory to a test? He stands up to a full height of 12 feet. Vines now thicken into large, rubbery stalks of flesh and what you consider muscle. He goes, yours will be the first soul, I think. And he begins to reach out for you. Initiative. I have previous initiatives. You guys wish to re-roll? Well, we should re-roll. Nat's not here.
Yep.
Nail's not here. So I have
I
Nat
have-
at 22.
Yeah, my initiative's pretty good.
Okay, you
So
gonna keep it?
I would like to keep it. The only way it could get better would be if I rolled a 10 instead of a 9. So
Yep. Simon, yours is at 19.
Yep. So he's now 50
Wow, you went down right on.
because I re-rolled.
M, yours is a very small 6.
I re-rolled. It's now a 7.
It's now 7.
Well,
Yay, you
if
improved.
everyone's re-rolling, you know what? Go on then.
All right, re-roll there, Nat.
That's an 18 now. I rolled a 5.
Right.
Oh my god, you're so much better with initiative than me. Oh.
That's because I have an agility modifier, perception modifier, and a wits modifier.
My character is as old as my soul feels.
What, 25?
25.
It's not for another week. Come on.
Wait till you get to our age.
I don't want to.
Sure you do.
Well, it's not negotiable. You'll get there eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah, true. So it's going to reach out and smack Brutak.
That's uncalled for.
Yes, I know.
I will attempt to parry. If he hits.
9 successes.
Oh, definitely need to parry. 3 successes on me parry.
3.
Only 3. I rolled really high.
So you don't quite parry, right? I believe parry is an all or nothing, isn't it?
Oh, is that an all or nothing?
Let me check the rule real
In
quick.
that case, I've failed to defend.
I think what it does is it's you're allowed to parry against it, and even if you fail against that, you still have your physical defense to do
So I
so.
will roll my physical defense. Only 2 successes on physical defense.
All right, so yeah, it says you must meet or beat the attacker's successes for a parry to be considered successful. Those that do not beat the attack may still attempt to defend against the remaining successes as a normal defense check. So I got 12, you got 3 originally, right? So that drops it down to 9. Then you got 2, so it's only going to be 7 successes worth of damage. It's got with its vines, it does 42 points of damage with its one attack.
That's a lot.
He's going to strike
So
out
42 minus 35
7.
is 6.
7.
7.
He only takes 7 points of damage.
Okay. Thank God for heavy armor.
He's going to lash out at. Wait, sorry, I got this reversed. God.
Okay.
I've got 6 successes.
Right. So that's a physical defense check.
Yep. You gonna do anything with the information I passed you there, Em? Because it's echoing in your head constantly.
Oh, that's 4 successes on my physical defense check, so I fail.
Wait,
I think
what? How many successes did you get?
4.
Okay, so remember it's
Yeah,
a
it's
meet or
2
beat, so it's
successes
still
get
2
through.
successes. Only get through, so it does 12 points of damage.
I've got 15 armor absorption from my big cool shell, so I don't take any damage.
Nothing gets
Never mind.
done. And then it sweeps out against you. And it's got 13 successes.
Oh, I only got 1.
So a total of 12. It wraps. What it does is it wraps you up in one of its large vines, kind of starting to wrap up around your body. It's your arms are still. I mean, you're still kind of tall, so your arms are still kind of free, but it's wrapping you up and keeping you in place. Not all attacks cause damage. Now we'll go to Nat.
All right. Do I do it again? No, maybe. I'm gonna walk up to him slowly. I'll walk up to him. I'm gonna cast stasis again. Oh, I'm gonna try at least. That is. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna reroll that. That was bad. That is a 0-4. Do I get the exploding dice on this?
Yes.
Oh, that was only a 1, so the 0-4, it's a spellcraft check, so that's 6 successes.
You go up and you touch this thing, right? And you begin to cast your magic, and you feel the magic ebb and flow from you. And as you touch it, you understand how much power you're giving into it, to the spell, but it seems to dissipate the moment you begin to touch it.
Well, that's interesting. When you say it dissipates, does it does it seem like the magic is just nullified, or does it seem like Jack is absorbing it? Does it seem like Jack is magical in nature?
Jack is very much magical in nature. And it
Okay.
seems like it's either it's really hard to tell if it's being nullified or he's absorbing it.
Okay.
Simon, it is your turn.
Okay then. So I am going to start steaming in and slicing and dicing
Okay.
like an oversized kitchen utensil.
You're using spirit, right? Nah, nah.
Yeah.
That's why I want to make sure.
Right. First roll's 40, so that's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that's 6 successes on my first attack.
I've got 3 successes. So you hit me for
Okay,
3.
so that's
You hit me for 3 successes.
3. So 11 says 33, 46 damage. Armor piercing 5.
Your
So armor
weapon,
mid, armor 9 15.
you're so used to your weapon just slicing and dicing through the other little ones. When you hit this one,
Yeah, it's the red steel glaive.
yeah, you hit this one and you hit, you've cut into it, but the cut seems to be slowed after about an inch or 2 into the vines.
Okay.
How much damage did you do?
See, that would be 33, 46. Right, as I've not
Okay.
moved yet, I'm going to use my move action before my next attack
Okay.
and try and use my discover flaw ability.
Okay.
And that's an awareness check. Sorry, alertness check. 05. Only 1 on the 10.
Are you at heroic, legendary, or epic level?
I've only got the basic version.
So heroic.
Yeah.
All right. Great. So with that, you'll be able to ignore 1 point of light armor absorption per 3 successes.
Yeah. So that means that's 35, 45, 50, for total of 5 successes.
So basically 2 points.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 points.
2 points of light armor if he's got any light armor.
Yep. You gonna attack again?
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
That's an 18 on the die, so that's a critical. 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98. So that's 8 successes plus fucking 9 on the dice. So that's 17 successes. No, 15 successes.
I've got 9 successes in my defense against you, so that's going to be a remainder of 6 successes for you.
So that's 66, 70, 79 damage.
That's a good hit. But again, as you hit it, the vines, it seem to slow down the damage. Or your strike.
I'm just being a gardener right now.
No, your
Okay, minus 10 on the third attack. That's no, it's not going to do a great deal. So it's 88, 98. It's only 2 successes on that one.
I only have 1 success.
Okay, so 11.
Hey,
23
Selkie.
damage hits him.
Yeah,
23.
that's when you hit that, it literally your blade kind of bounces off its rubbery tendril flesh.
Okay, and then I will do 1 more attack on it, and then somebody else can have a play. That's a 15 on the die, so that's a critical. 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85. So that's 7. That's a 10. 14 plus 5, 18. 22 successes on that one.
I have no successes on my physical defense.
So 11 times 22 is 220 plus 13, 233.
How much
Is that
damage?
right?
So
11 times 22. Because my base is 11.
okay, so that's 242 plus how much damage? Bonus damage?
My bonus damage is only plus 13.
That's 255 points of damage. Holy shit.
My God.
You clearly cleave through a greater portion of the roots that keep it that have kept this guy standing. When you do it, so the roots themselves kind of fall to the ground, and this orangey goo begins to exude from the wounds now.
I'll step back. Yeah. Oh, I can't. I've used my move action. I'll just, yeah. And let somebody else have a go.
It is your turn, Em.
So start with, probably start with yelling down to, because she's being held by a vine, isn't she?
Yes. Well, and it's only
Um,
it's only there's a couple of them that are wrapped up around your legs and your waist, right? Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna shout down to the guys. Aim for the head. It would appear there is a trapped soul in there. And then going to attempt. I don't know if it's gonna work, but gonna attempt to try and cast Calm on him.
Cast what?
Calm.
Damn.
Calm.
A spell?
Yeah. Page 267.
Oh, calm. Got you.
Sorry, I didn't put on my American accent to say it.
Yeah, we pronounce it properly.
Passing calm. My apologies.
Calm. All right, go for it.
Okay. Do I roll for it then?
You use your bardic, well, you use entertainment, I believe, to cast bardic magic.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Still getting
your
used to this.
entertain instrument skill.
Oh, we're flying. Hang on.
It helps if you don't drop the dice.
It helps me shut the fuck up.
Oh, I do love you two as a lovely couple.
4 successes.
You begin to create this area of this area of calm around you, and begins to circle around. But your energies seem to be buffeted by a field or energy near Jack.
Alright. I don't know if there's much else I can do. If casting that didn't work. Can she also try and, well, no, because everything she says is psionic thoughts, isn't it? Everything she says is telepathy.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. She will look this pumpkin directly in the eyes, this massive asshole pumpkin. And she'll say, Jack, I know you're strong enough to get out of there. We were all here and we all believe in you. And belief is half the battle.
Yo, Joe. Make a convince check. Yeah, sure.
Cool.
What is your bardic what is your your
I dropped the dice again.
which one
I dropped the dice and
is
unplugged my headphones in the process.
Do you have leadership by any chance?
No. I didn't take leadership.
Do you have chanting?
Yeah, chanting.
What's your score in chanting?
81.
Go ahead and make a chanting skill attempt.
Okay. Oh, shit. That's 2 successes.
All right. And you have entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you use an instrument or is it mostly your voice?
She uses an instrument.
Is it woodwind?
Oh my
No.
God.
Didn't you take storytelling as well as?
Oh, I
instrument?
did also take. Yeah, I did also take storytelling.
All right, so give me an entertainment check.
Oh my god, that shit! That's 1 success.
All right, so that's
You can always re-roll it.
You can always re-roll it.
You could still re-roll it.
Yeah, okay, it's probably worth re-rolling, isn't it?
I mean, especially when all three of us said you can re-roll that.
Okay, that's a bit better. 5 successes.
A bit. That's significantly better.
That's 4 times. Well, that's pretty
5
much
times better.
How many successes did you get?
Yeah.
5.
All right, I'll give you a plus 20 for that. So you have basically a plus 30 to your convince check.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Because of the way
So
I
now
see it
I
is you're
roll
kind of using your medallic voice through telepathy, which is almost a direct connection to convince Jack to try to defeat whatever's kept him there, right? And in doing so, you would use your entertainment, you'd use your chanting, which is this melodic kind of stuff and things like that. Gives you a plus 30 to your skepticism check or your convince check.
Cool. So now I can roll a convince check and then
Yes,
plus 30.
at a plus 30.
Oh, that was a good roll. Where's my convince? There it is. That's 7 successes. And then that's before adding the 30. So that adds another 3. So that's 10 successes?
More or less, you could play it that way, sure.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, 10 successes.
The screeching in your head stops. And for a moment, you hear the soft voice of a young adult. But how? How do I stop it from taking me again? I've been trapped here for forever. And then suddenly, you guys outside in the fighting this thing, you see it kind of physically stop, as though it's like almost like your stasis spell worked, Gad. It just stops.
Well.
But this conversation's happening with you, Em.
Thank you.
How do I stop it? How do I keep it from finding me again? It finds me every year. It makes me do horrible things.
We will help. We will keep you safe.
How?
You do not have to do this alone.
But how?
Have you seen the giant troll down there kicking ass?
That breaks immersion right there. But that's just a physical body. This thing is old, very old.
We'll find you protection. We know lots of people, and every mind has an answer somewhere. You just need to find the right mind.
But how? You have nothing here to help. You can't. And then suddenly the screeching comes back.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do there, Em?
No, I think I'm done.
Nat, your turn.
So it looks like the stasis spell took hold.
I wouldn't
Is
say it
Jack
took
kind of
hold.
moving again now.
It starts to move again.
All right. Well, if magic isn't going to work, then science might. Gat sort of presses the barrel of the rifle up against what we can assume to be like the
Make a spell.
chin.
Make a spellcraft check. This thing is 12 feet tall, so it's kind of taller than you are. But make a spellcraft check first and foremost.
Spellcraft check. That is 3 successes.
There are creatures that you've run across that have the ability to throw up a temporary spell resistance that comes and goes.
Is there any way of being able to tell when that sort of spell resistance is waxing and waning?
Only by testing it.
Okay.
So, mechanically speaking, every time you cast a spell at it, there's a 50% chance that the spell just doesn't affect it.
That makes sense. I don't know if I have enough fatigue to cast status again. 30 fatigue a pop. It's a
huge pop.
Yeah, it's a beefy spell for me to be slinging around.
You want to use some of my fatigue? I've got 159.
Yeah, go on. You just give me like a fatigue trip.
There's actually a spell and ability that allows you to do that. You can suck the ability from someone else, suck the fatigue from somebody else.
There you go. Take your fill.
Just
Suck
start
me dry.
blasting, I
No.
think.
You have neither of those right now.
Yeah, neither of us have that, that option, unfortunately. I'm gonna start blasting.
Then I started blasting.
Yeah, I'm gonna start blasting.
All right, go for it.
It's so nice to be back in my own computer so that I can find I can find everything in the PDF again. Right, that is 4 successes.
Well, it kind of as it's coming out of its reverie and this thing shakes this big massive gourd, and it comes down and it looks down right at you, and it's not prepared for the fact that you have a gun aimed right at its head, and it fails its physical defense so badly it gives you a +3 to your successes.
Because we have any additional successes?
+3.
Okay. So with 7 successes, I'm doing. Just gonna do a quick bit of maths. My base damage is 9, so I'm doing 63, but I've got +10 from the enhanced focusing crystals, so 73 damage.
73.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a high roller like Butak, but I got a gun.
I got a gun. All right. Yeah, you see a chunk of the Gordy's flesh kind of like come blasting off its face.
if I may, I get to do another one.
Sure.
I get to make 2 attacks per full action. And they ignore 20 armor absorption, which is very fun as well. So I'll make a second roll. That is 5 successes, but I also rolled below a 15, so it's a crit as well.
Okay.
And that is an 8. So that is 13 successes. So anyway,
It's
I
got
started
4
punching.
successes in its physical defense.
Okay, so it's
9.
9. 91 points of damage.
Damn.
Ow. Not bad. What's the max damage for your rifle?
It because it's an energy rifle, it caps at 90 before it caps at 90 for base damage.
Right.
This thing kind of falls back on its on some vines. Vines catch it really quickly and it begins to scream. M, make a wits power check, TS of 5.
Wits power.
Wits check, TS of 5.
Wits. Okay. I just wondered if you meant wits or willpower.
Wits on this one.
Oh,
Silky. You don't need to be jealous about the damage we're doing.
I'm rerolling that one.
We don't have a tech, you see. Instead, we just sort of.
That's at
We
least
swing.
one success this time.
How many did you get?
I only got one. I failed.
You are suddenly seized by the screaming of Jack, yelling at you to please stop. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. Take 12 points of fatigue damage.
Okay.
Oops.
At this point, she will kind of scream out, "Yeah, hunting Jack!"
Okay.
Give you guys a moment to respond to that, because you guys can respond on other people's turns.
Can't hear what she said.
Ravandra yells, "You're hurting Jack."
That Blue Tackle just look. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, we don't really have another option. Unless he's talking to you like Planto and Planto.
He's talking
I
to
can
me.
Making a
hear.
phone call.
He's talking to me. I can hear him. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to convince him we can help him. It is difficult to believe the voice of one, but perhaps he'll believe the voice of many.
I'll just stand to with my glaive ready.
Yeah.
If it makes an offensive move against us, I'll attack again, but I'm going to hold my action. Assuming you can hold actions in this game.
Of course. Why wouldn't you be able to? All right, so you hold your action. You stop for a second there. M, what do you want to do?
She's gonna try and reach out to Jack again. She's gonna try and kind of focus all of her energy towards speaking to Jack. And she's gonna say, "You see, we do not wish to hurt you. We wish to help."
I'm going to allow you to continue to have that plus 30 to your convince check. So go ahead and make your
Cool,
convince check.
thank you. Oh my god, 3!
I'm sorry, what?
A not 3.
Not 3. Nice. Roll your exploding. You say it with
Don't
all your
forget to
bark,
increase
but
your-
Gord will see the way. Oh my god.
Rolled an 8.
Nice.
So hang on. 13, 23, 33, 42, 73. So that would be 11 plus 8, 19 successes. The most convincing.
All right. I don't hate to put you. I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Tell me what you say.
Okay.
Let's do this because I know
Mm-hmm.
you don't like being put on the spot right like that, and you want to take a minute. Let's take a bio break. Allow you to figure that
Right.
out. We'll get some water. We'll get some
Right.
other stuff, and then we'll be right back to see how M pulls this one out.
Sick.
We are back. We've given our lovely M some time to wow me with her musical chords of words. Oh my God, Simon, would you stop?
Okay. I'll try and be behave.
So tell me, what do you say to Jack?
You cut out on me there. Were you asking me what Ravandra says?
Yes.
Cool. Ravandra will look this pumpkin dead in the eye and say, "You have never been alone." I'm not going to do it in the Ravandra voice because I'm too tired to try and do it in the airy fairy Ravandra voice. You have never been alone. You've only felt it, and that in itself is entrapment. But now you can physically see that there are people here to help you, and that in itself is its own freedom. But with that, we can help you get your true freedom and ensure you keep it.
He responds almost like a impetuous child and toddler. You can almost physically see him shaking his head, his hands coming up to his head and screaming, "No, no, you can't, you can't. You don't understand. You don't understand. No!" And then suddenly he comes full blossom. The Pumpkin King in front of you grows another 5 feet tall, and he yells out, "You almost mistaken it for Birch," and begins to squeeze you tighter.
Are you telling me
Well,
a
I
pumpkin
said I was
just called
holding
me a
my
bitch?
action.
Yes.
I said I was holding my action. If it attacked, I'm gonna chop through the vines that are holding Rivandra, sorry, and cut her free.
Well, hold on there, out of print. M,
Okay.
you're starting to feel squeezed. Do you let anybody know that you're being squeezed?
No,
And no one can know
Ravandra's
it. No one can
gonna
see it, right?
stay very firm and staring.
In that case, I will continue to hold my action.
It's getting tighter and tighter. Make a willpower check.
Okay. She will not attack if she doesn't have to. That was actually pretty good. Okay. 6 successes.
You're maintaining a concentrating check on hold on yourself. You don't pass out, but you can feel the wood of your body starting to become tighter and tighter and tighter, as though it feels like it might actually shatter.
She will say in a very, very calm, soft tone, "You can trust us, Jack. You just need to trust us."
In probably the most demonic voice that I can't do, it says, "I trust no one," and it tosses you into the blackness beyond. Turns around, and it looks like it's about to unleash. Simon, you've been holding your move. I get it. You see these 2 big vines come sweeping down right towards you. I'll let you go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. It's my move action. I haven't got held, isn't it?
Say again?
Is it my full attack actions?
Yeah.
Or just a single attack?
No, it's a single attack. You get 1 attack.
Right then, let's make this count. Could I use a move action instead?
Yeah, you can use a move action instead if you want to move or do something else. But you only get 1 action.
Right. Well, in that case, I'm going to use my whirling defense from my polearm melee specialization to give me plus 20 to my physical defense,
Okay.
and just start spinning it.
And wait for the hit.
Yep.
Gad, were you holding on to your attack as well?
I was not. I used my full action to blast him before he started screaming at Ruvandra.
Okay.
So that was my turn just about done.
Okay. Very good. It rolls to hit you with this really heavy stump-like vines. It's got 12 successes.
I will start with parry then. The parry's critical at my normal attack critical range or not?
You're asking if a skill check for a parry for criticals does it actually work?
Yeah, because I got a 19.
I believe. Oh, you mean at your normal one, right? The one that you use the weapon with.
Right, so basically 1 to 10. Right then.
Hold
so
on. Give me a second. There's nothing in the rules saying that you can't be the same level of your attack with your as your crit. So I will allow that to happen.
Well, in that case, I'll get an extra D10. So that's 8 onto 9. So that's 17 successes on the parry.
So yeah, you easily parry it. In doing so, because it is a non-weapon and a fleshy kind of like what's a vine, I believe parry allows you to also inflict damage.
Does it? What page is parry under?
108.
108. Parry.
Yeah, if you parry an unarmed attack, which is this, you inflict an automatic hit on the attacker, dealing your weapon's base damage plus your modifier that ignores armor absorption. So what's your base? 11 and then 10, right?
11 and 13.
So 23.
That's 23.
Yep. It's not something he can ignore. It can ignore. So hold on. Ruvandra, you hear a screaming squelch in your head as it screams no, 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 continues to scream. It finally, this entity collapses in front of you. The giant skull, the giant gourd-like head kind of lolling to the side as the vines collapse underneath it. And then everything goes dark. The torch goes out and it becomes absolutely dark. A few seconds pass and you can see kind of in the middle of whatever this chamber might be, the size of it, but just above the where the Pumpkin King was, you see the image of a small 12 or 13-year-old human boy kind of rise up out of it. And looks to you, looks to all of you, and goes, "Now what? Now you've stopped it. But what about me? Where am I supposed to go? It'll find me again. It always does."
Join our ship.
Say again?
Join our ship.
Can I call a quick team meeting?
Pause. We're going to take a 10-minute meeting.
Hold on.
Okay, quick huddle.
Guys, huddle.
Huddle.
Are we babysitting?
Just
How old is
until
he?
we can find somewhere safe. Be scared, please.
In Butak's accent, if he is cursed by some ancient curse that does this to him, there may be an ancient antidote somewhere lost in the universe. If we can find it, we could save him, and we could probably sell the cure for lots of money. Butak likes money.
He needs our help.
That too, but money.
Okay. Better not cause problems on my ship.
More than the rest of us?
You know what? Fair point.
Ravandra's gonna de-huddle and turn around and reach her hand out to the little boy and say,
Let us find a way to keep you safe.
No. How do we get out of here?
It kind of comes, the Jack's spirit kind of comes close to you, and it looks like it's beginning to reach out. You can feel this glow of warmth that you've never felt before. It's kind of like, it's more than just sitting in the sun, right? It's like this radiating warmth that just as it begins, as your hands begin to touch. At that exact moment, just before you touch, a vine spirals out of the darkness and encases Jack and begins to pull it back in. You all hear this: always mine, forever mine, you shall not escape.
I'll attempt to jump and cut the vine.
As you begin to jump, the creature that this is attached to begins to rise up, and now it looks like a completely undead, unalive thing. The massive gourd head is kind of lolling up to the side. Ooze, orange and yellow ooze is oozing from its various wounds as it begins to drag Jack back in. You want to make an attack on the vines?
Yep.
Right.
If he is unsuccessful, I'd like to shoot it, but I'm going to wait and see how he does first.
All right, go for it.
20. That's a critical.
That is a critical.
With a 9 on the dice for an additional success, that's fine. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that's 8 plus 9 is 17 successes.
It, of course, gets a physical defense. Since you can't see the screen and M's not watching the Twitch channel, and I don't know if Nat is or not, I just rolled a double aught.
I am watching the Twitch channel. I've got it up on my phone.
I'm also watching.
That means I critically failed its physical defense.
Holy
So you've
shit.
got a total of 20
unfortunate.
successes of that. How much damage do you do in this one shot?
Well, that's 11 times 20, which is 220.
220, correct?
Plus 13, so 233 damage. Minus 15 armor.
You slice through these thick vines with almost as though there was nothing there. The vines collapse, and it suddenly, as soon as they hit the ground, the vines that have wrapped around Jack and the vines that go back to this entity begin to shrivel. They begin to turn into this dying thing, right? This like weed. It's starting to be, you know how weeds turn and they begin to crumble and stuff like that. This begins to crumble. Suddenly,
Yep.
the whole plane that you're on begins to shumble and shake, and the house begins to collapse in. You can now see, when you're there, you're inside a small room. It looks like a small boy's room, and you're overlooking a field of grass and wheat and other things that are growing outside. It's bright, it's green. There is no other darkness about you, but the house begins to crumble. What do you do?
Nearest door or window,
What are you guys doing?
which is nearer.
You can go through the window. I mean, nothing's stopping you.
I'll use the back. I'll use the back of the glaive and break the window out so people can get out.
Okay.
Quickest way first.
Jack, you feel as though there is a strong hold on your hand now. And then you feel a presence kind of overtake your entire body. It doesn't take control, but feels like a warm jacket. If you've ever worn a jacket as a suit,
Warm jacket.
kind of just envelops you. And you can hear the word flee.
Jack the jacket. Okay.
Jacket.
Jacket.
Cool. Ravandra will have a huge smile on her face as she jumps out the window, kind of like almost holding herself from feeling Jack surrounding her.
You guys break through the window, and suddenly you find yourselves in this large field of pumpkins as they begin to pop and explode, and wisps of other entities and spirits begin to start to pop out and leave into the ethereal around it. The whole field begins to rot and fall apart, becomes this dry, dead thing, and you can hear words of thank you and screams of no and other things as this whole plane begins to shimmer. You can see the entrance of where you guys entered up ahead, and the hole is getting smaller and smaller.
Just quickly look around for Niall's character.
Oh, he's right beside you.
But I'll pick him up because he's small and dainty, so I'll carry him. It'll be quicker.
All right, all
And
of
then
you,
leg it.
you're gonna leg it. Let's do this because I want there's some tension to happen here. You will make 3 agility checks. No critical. You can't roll crits. You can't roll crits.
Oh, shit.
If you fail, you fall back behind. You have to make another agility check. You may or may not escape this dimension. So we'll start with them.
Oh no.
Make 3 agility checks.
Oh, my agility is shit. Cool, first one's a fail.
I didn't say you couldn't re-roll. I just said you can't count crits.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll then. Although I only have 1 heroic. Okay, that one is. Does it matter how many successes it is?
Just
or do we
don't
just
fail.
Of it?
Just don't
Easy.
fail.
Okay, didn't fail. First one didn't fail. Second one failed.
Okay.
Third one failed.
All right, so make 1 more agility check.
That's a success.
Butek, you see Ravandra kind of stumbling and as her feet and her leg stumps are moving, they're getting caught up in the dying of the field around her. She's stumbling and having difficulty going. Gad, give me 3 agility checks.
All right. That's a success. That's a fail. I'm going to re-roll that. That's a 100.
You can re-roll that.
If
Oh,
we
that
have
was my
another
reroll.
TPK,
We have another. I'm never playing with you again, Levi.
pretty much, yeah.
The last one was a success. So I got 2 successes overall.
All right. You stumble and fall as the weeds around you begin to they're dying and stuff. The tendrils are wrapping around your legs and stuff like that. Butek, 3 agility checks,
Oh,
please.
hold on.
Well, my first roll was 22 with an agility of 58, so the first one's a success. The second one is a 15 27, which is just one below my agility, so that's 2 successes and a 0-2 on my last one.
You, like I said,
Will
you've
that give me a
seen.
heroic luck?
No,
You said not to count criticals, but
that would give you a heroic
luck.
luck. Yes, that would give you heroic luck. Like I said,
Okay.
you see Rivandra kind of stumble, and she's getting, and you're leaving them behind. You then suddenly see Gad kind of stumble, fall, and kind of hits his shell and rolls up and continues to strive forward, but the hole's getting smaller and smaller. You make it to the edge of the hole where the dimension is closing. Rivandra is maybe 60 feet from you. Gad was 25 feet. What do you want to do?
I'll go back and get Ilithandra.
Okay, make an
I'm
agility
strong
check.
enough. I can pick her up and carry her.
Sure. I mean, she's
While
only
he's
Wispy
doing
Willow.
that, I have a request to make.
Tell me what you want to do.
Can I do the same thing that I did previously? Can I cast Open the Path in conjunction with Create Pseudoplane to keep that hole open?
I will allow you to attempt that.
I am happy to spend all of my fatigue if needs be.
It's gonna take a good portion of your fatigue, and it might lose some permanently. We'll see.
That's
But
fine.
I'll absolutely allow you to try that if you're successful.
Right, well, the cost for Find the Path was a 0.6, so that
Nice.
is 6 successes.
Brilliant.
And that is for the roll for Create Pseudoplane. Would you like that to be against my intelligence or my spellcraft again?
This is an ability, right?
Yeah.
Great. And that is that's in knowledge, right?
Yeah.
It's a willpower check, TSO4.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll that. That wasn't good. That is 4 successes.
You, Butak, you suddenly see the sparking of just as you begin to move away from the portal, it starts to spark this golden glow and sparkiness. I don't know, is it sparkiness or sparks as though it's trying to close and it's being held open. Make an agility check.
18. So, yep, I made it.
You made it. Rivandra, on your
Yeah.
last stumble, you finally find yourself face to face with Butak, who's got you by one of your arms and is helping you move quickly through that. So what's going to happen is one of you's going to have to the hole is starting to close. You are holding it open with all your might. Gad, Butak, you've grabbed Rivandra, and you begin to make your way through the portal, and you make your way through the portal just as the portal kind of closes between you and Gad.
Gad's been left behind.
I didn't want to like interrupt you, but I was gonna ask if I could do something as we were going through the portal.
Sure.
Can I cast Illusionary Mount for Gad?
Illusionary mount?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. What is it you want to do?
I want to like basically create a horse that is no doubtedly faster than Gad is.
All right, go for it.
Like basically kind of form it underneath Gad so it's already running. Try and
Oh,
get
I
that
see what you're
last
saying.
burst through
Right
the
on.
portal.
Okay, sure, go for it.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah, go
Let me
for
just
it.
get it up. What? What did I go to? And because bardic magic uses my entertain, doesn't it?
Yep.
6 successes.
Gad, as you're kind of rooted in place, holding this energy open, trying to keep this portal open to allow your friends to escape through, you suddenly find yourself moving very swiftly in the same direction, almost a couple steps behind Butek, as this. Describe the horse.
This large but sleek-looking, like kind of white but mostly transparent horse appears underneath Gad, and he can see like the horse's mane is flying back but going through Gad's front. If that makes sense.
Sure.
It feels almost like just like a ghost horse that is now carrying him along.
And you
Okay.
both, everybody, go ahead, finish. I thought you were finished. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add like leaves very similar to Ravandra's are kind of flying off of it as it goes forward.
Oh, very cool. Kind of like
Wow.
a
Nice
spirit
touch.
horse. Yeah, very cool. Very nice touch. You find yourself on the other side on a horse that seems to be continuing to move very fast down a hallway, and you're coming very, very fast towards a wall. Gad.
How much fatigue did it cost to do that?
All but 5.
Okay. Gad tuck and rolls off the horse.
Goes into shell shock.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of
Wow.
tuck and roll, and you slam against the wall at the other end. Make a stamina check, TS of 5.
Okay.
It's the way I envision it. You had this horse kind of in full speed, and as you developed it underneath him, so it just picked him up and kept going, and it's going at full throttle. So we're talking 45, 50 miles an hour that it's running at base.
That is exactly how I was imagining it as
Oh, I
well.
need to reroll that. The dice giveth, the dice taketh away, I guess. Shit. That reroll is worse. That's a fail.
You tuck into your shell and you roll and you hit the wall with such force and impact, even inside your shell, you find yourself unconscious from just the shock.
Okay.
And you guys look down the hall. You see your illusionary horse pass through the wall, and you see Gad kind of turn into the shell, and he hits it, and it just vibrates. And now there's just this shell, just like turned over on its belly, with kind of a Gad kind of like hanging out of it, like right, completely unconscious.
That's not funny, but also it's a little funny.
That
Yeah, but it's not
Ravandra-
funny.
Yeah, Ravandra will leg over and try to use healing touch on Gad.
All right, go for it.
How do I use healing touch? I'm not.
What as you have that as an ability?
I have it as an ability.
Do you have heal? Do you have heal as a skill?
Yeah.
Just roll against your heal skill. Your
Just
heals.
roll against my skill. Oh, that's fine. Where's my heal skill? There it is. That is 1 success.
While he is not severely injured, he is completely knocked out, and you're looking at him like, I don't know what to do here. You try to use a couple of herbs, but they're not the right herbs, and he's snoring peacefully, but knocked out.
I mean, snoring is a sign of life.
I guess you could say that. You notice while you're doing that, you are no longer glowing, as though Jack has let you go.
Where is he? She's gonna look back and look around to try and spot him.
You don't see any remnants or any evidence that Jack is still with us or with you.
On the one hand, I'm hoping that's just a sign that his spirit is free. On the other hand, I'm scared that means we need to go find him.
What do you guys want to do?
Shall we take Gad back to the ship and start resting up and healing up?
And again, how much do you weigh? Do we know? With all your gear and stuff?
I don't think I've rolled it. There wasn't anything on the.
Skajali.
Oh no, there is now. Never mind. I'll just roll that. I'll roll that now quickly. When I made the character, it wasn't on there, but I will roll that for you now. Do a quick bit of maths. Gad weighs. Oh, he's a heavy boy. That is weight of 210 before gear.
Bootak carry.
Yeah, Bootak will be fine.
Yeah, pick him up, carry him. Like to carry off luggage.
You guys make it back to the ship and stuff pretty easily. There's no massive commotion other than the normal business that's happening on Hellgate. You make it back to the ship. You put Gad in in his quarters. I take it. Let him sleep it off. He'll be back up. As you guys kind of wander, get back there and start doing your things around the ship, whatever they are, whatever they may be. You find that the central dining area is a bit more cleaner than what you're used to. In fact, now that you put Gad in his quarters and you kind of begin to look around, you notice that each of your quarters seem to be a little bit more ship shape. Beds are tucked.
Have we got a ghost cleaner?
We got a ghost maid.
I'm not gonna if it exists, I'm not gonna say yes. You need to figure that out for
I'm not
yourself.
saying no either.
I won't say no either.
Well, the one plus side, we don't have to pay him wages and he doesn't consume food, so good crewmate.